Camera number 402 is the Canon FTB, released at the same time apparently as the Canon F1, and indeed it was very similar functions were included in the FTB. It was a cut down version of the F1, didn't have interchangeable viewfinders, so it was aimed at the middle tier. It also replaced the FT, which I also happen to have and have done in the past. I'm sure you can check the video. At the first glance there's not a huge amount of difference really. It's an incremental change, if you like, that was included here. The mirror lock-up button in the FT is now incorporated in the self-timer lever in the FTB. That's pretty much all the difference on the front there. On the top plate, the meter can now be turned off on the FTB, and also on the base plate we've lost the film door lock mechanism on the FTB, which was in the FT. So just a few little differences, but essentially the same camera from my point of view, handled in exactly the same way. But let's just go through the features of the FTB. So it features the breech mount for the Canon lens. The FD lens can be used. FL lenses can be used, but they have to be stopped down. We'll go through that perhaps a bit later. To have the meter, we need a battery in the camera. So let's just put, it's already in there actually, so we'll just show you. It's a 1.3 volt battery. Is it a PX625? I think that's what it is there. And then put that in. It actually does show us on the lid how to put it in. And actually I'm putting it in the wrong way, so let's put it in the correct way. There we go. And then it's a bit fiddly, I must say, to put the battery compartment on. Excellent, and then this powers the light meter. It is a fully manual camera, so it can be used without the battery, but then you don't have any light meter, you'd have to use a handheld meter. So to take the lens off and on, we just slide the inner circle, that's the breech lock, and then we can see our lens. The lens actually features a little bit of a fungus there, but I didn't actually use this particular lens for taking the photographs, but I will have a look. Whether I actually take this internal lens element out and clean it, I'm not sure. I'll have to, if I feel a brave day, I might do that. So there we go, there's the internals of the Canon FTB. So to lock up the mirror while we're on the front here, we have to turn the button or lever is always set on the little white dot there, and then to lock the mirror up we have to move it to the lock position, which is for the closed aperture metering, and then we turn it once more and also push that as well, and then that locks up the mirror. And to unlock the mirror, close it down and make sure that it goes furthest around there. Self-timer mechanism is operated with pushing down the lever there. There we go, our shutter button, that was the word I was looking for. Okay, we have a flash synchronization port there, and our hot shoe there. So to put the lens back on, we just a little red dot there has to correspond to the red dot, and then we rotate the inner lock. Okay, turning to the top plate, as I say, we have our on-off button for our meter. To check the battery is okay, we have a check button or position on this lever. We have to set first of all the film speed to 100 apparently. To 100. There we go. Oops, it's there. And then we have to set the shutter speed to, I think it's 1000th. Let me just check that. And then by moving the dial to the C mark, our meter needle, which is a match needle meter, should move up to a position on the window. Perhaps I'll try and get a little photograph or image of the internal of the viewfinder, because there's a few little markers, and one of the markers is for the battery test. Okay, so hopefully that will be featured in the video here. Okay, so having tested the battery is good, we can turn the light meter on, and then it's just a question of matching the little eyelet with the meter needle. So there's an aperture, so by changing our aperture or our shutter speed, we can then get correct exposure and then take our image, film advance, and taking our image. Shutter speeds go from B down right away up to 1000th of a second. We have a lock position for our shutter button. So that's a nice feature. I always find that useful, because taking cameras in and out of bags sometimes that can cause problems. And then our counter. As I mentioned, the FTB doesn't have the lock for the film chamber, so we have to lift the film rewind button. And you see, like the FT, it includes the quick load system, which is really nice. Literally just lay the film over and then it gets secured there. There's actually a little diagram here. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Shutter, tripod mount, and a little release lever for the film advance to allow us to rewind our film back into our canister. So there we go. I do like the F series and the FX. They're nice, remind me very much of the, dare I say it, the Nikkors or Nikkomats. If we have an FL lens, we can mount that. In fact, let's just do that. It mounts in the same way. Let's take that off. I have one here. I have the Canon FL 135mm, and basically what it's missing is the aperture index and a lock there. So we basically put the lens on exactly the same way, and then to perform closed aperture metering, if you like, we have to set the little lever here to L, which then allows us to lock. We can actually lock that, and then that keeps the meter going. And we have to, basically by changing the aperture or the shutter speed, there's a little index mark, and we want the meter needle to meet that mark. We don't have to lock the light meter, if you like, and then that will, you can see that closes down the aperture. There we go. So the idea is we perform that and then do our variations of our shutter speed to get that light meter needle in the correct position. Okay, so that's it really. So that's the Canon FTB number 402.